Welcome to Investing Path, where we are in this together. Today, we are here to talk about the economic storm that's brewing. With warning signs from people like Elon Musk, we can prepare ourselves for what's to come. We are the team at Investing Path, and we believe in the power of community. With the recent subprime mortgage crisis in 2007, it does seem like we're headed into a recession here in 2023. The magnitude of that recession is debatable, but we think it's wise to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. So buckle up and get ready to learn how you can not just survive, but thrive in these uncertain times. As the world continues to navigate through the uncertainties of the post-pandemic economy, it is important to reflect on the lessons learned from the last major recession that shook the financial world over a decade ago. The Great Recession of 2008 was a time of great turmoil and economic instability that impacted people from all walks of life, regardless of their socio-economic status. The recession was triggered by the housing market bubble that had been created in the early 2000s, fueled by millions of low-interest mortgage loans being issued to customers who couldn't necessarily afford them. Home prices skyrocketed as demand increased, creating a false sense of economic stability and growth. But when interest rates started to rise in 2005, many subprime borrowers found themselves unable to make payments, resulting in foreclosures and a sharp decline in home values. The impact of the housing market crash reverberated throughout the economy, leading to a freeze in credit markets and a sharp decline in demands for goods and services. Banks terminated loans to subprime customers, leading to a credit crunch that limited businesses and credit-worthy customers from getting the loans they needed to survive. Companies were forced to cut expenses, lay off workers, and in some cases, declare bankruptcy. The Great Recession also exposed the economic inequality that had been growing in the United States for decades. While the wealthy were able to weather the storm and even profit from the downturn, the average and poor suffered losses, with the latter bearing the brunt of the recession's impact. As we look towards the future, it is important to keep these lessons in mind and find ways to protect ourselves and our investments from the effects of another possible economic crisis. Investing in diversified assets, having an emergency fund, and avoiding excessive debt are some of the key steps we can take to ensure financial stability in the face of economic uncertainty. In addition, we must also look to our leaders to implement policies that promote economic stability and growth for all, not just a select few. This means investing in education and training programs, creating job opportunities, and ensuring that all members of society have access to affordable housing and healthcare. As we navigate the complex and ever-changing world of finance, it is important to remain vigilant, informed, and proactive. By learning from the lessons of the past, we can build a more resilient and prosperous future for ourselves and for future generations. So, let's take action today to safeguard our financial future and never forget the lessons learned from the Great Recession. As we assess the economic landscape, we see that those in the lower and middle classes may be vulnerable to financial upheaval. As a result, we encourage everyone to prioritize savings as a means of preparing for potential emergencies. It is essential to avoid finding ourselves in situations where we lack the necessary funds to navigate tough times. Looking beyond our borders, it is evident that the economic downturn isn't limited to the United States alone. Even investors from other countries have been impacted by this phenomenon. Based on our analysis, it is clear that we must prepare for challenging times ahead. Elon Musk's comments about the impending inflation only confirm this reality. The onus is on us to increase our financial capacity and find ways to boost our income. One option is to explore side hustles such as script writing or selling unwanted items. Financial discipline is also essential. We recommend setting aside at least 15% of your paycheck in savings, building up to a starter emergency fund of $1,000. This buffer will help you weather any potential recessions. If you have any assets or funds above that amount, consider liquidating them to add to your savings. It is crucial to be proactive and take these steps before it is too late. As we delve deeper into the possibility of a recession, it is important to acknowledge that there are several factors that could contribute to this economic downturn. One of the most concerning aspects is the potential for margin debt to create a ripple effect in the market. For those who are unfamiliar, margin debt is when an investor borrows funds from a broker to invest in stocks. While this can be a lucrative strategy during times of growth, it can also be incredibly risky during times of instability. Elon Musk's cautionary words about margin debt are not without merit. As we've seen in the past, even small investors can suffer major losses when the market takes a downturn. For those who are relying on margin debt as a source of income, a sudden drop in stock prices can trigger a margin call, which requires them to pay back the funds they borrowed. This can create a snowball effect, leading to a panic and even more losses. It is also important to note that a surge in margin debt can be an early indicator of an impending recession. During the 2008 recession, margin debts rose by over 60%, and this trend was a major contributor to the economic downturn. As we move forward, it is essential that we remain vigilant and take steps to mitigate the risks associated with margin debt. One way to do this is by diversifying our investments and exploring alternative income streams. Relying solely on margin debt is a risky strategy, and it is crucial to have backup plans in place in case of market downturn. Ultimately, the key takeaway here is that we cannot rely on hope alone when it comes to protecting our finances during a potential recession. We must be proactive and take steps to mitigate our risks, including being cautious with margin debt and exploring alternative income streams. By doing so, we can protect ourselves and our investments during these uncertain times. Elon Musk advises against margin debt, as it not only harms individual investors but also affects the economy as a whole. He acknowledges that a recession is inevitable, but it is also cyclic in nature, meaning it will come and go. The economy may have to go through a period of turmoil, but it will eventually recover. Musk predicts that the economy will settle down after 12 to 18 months, during companies will experience negative cash flows before returning to normal. So what can we take away from all of this? As a collective, we should exercise caution when it comes to margin debt and be mindful of the potential risks. It would be wise to consider investing or starting a business towards the end of 2024. With prudence and careful planning, we can navigate through economic cycles and come out stronger on the other side. As we come to the end of this video on Investing Path, it is important to reflect on the key takeaways from the insights shared by Elon Musk. Firstly, we learned about the dangers of margin debt, which can cause panic and lead to economic downturns. We also discussed the cyclic nature of recessions and how they can present opportunities for investors who are patient and strategic. But perhaps the most important message that we can take away from this video is the need to be prepared and adaptable in the face of uncertainty. Whether it is a sudden economic turn, a pandemic, or any other unforeseen event, having a financial caution and a solid investment plan can make all the difference. So, what's your plan? How are you preparing for the next economic cycle? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more insights and trends in the world of investing. Remember, investing is a journey, not a destination. It requires patience, diligence, and a willingness to learn and adapt. With the right mindset and tools, you can navigate the ups and downs of the market and achieve your financial goals. So, let's get started on this investing path together.